quarterback Norm Snead and first-year defensive tackle Levi Stanley on waivers. The departure of Snead, who played 16 seasons in the National Football League, followed yesterday's deal with Baltimore for quarterback Marty Darmers. A product of Wake Forest, Snead was a number 1 draft pick of the Washington Redskins in 1961. He also played for... Whoa, I almost gave away the answer to our question. I better not read that part of it. Anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I already heard the first part of the answer.
And you will hear no more. Okay, Dale, what are you going to say?
Well,
anyway, you're back. How'd you do yesterday?
What?
When you
the softball game?
Softball,
you a cold weather ball player, Doctor?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what happened, fellas. We were playing a institution that was located on the first floor of the same building that we housed in.
Not the men's room.
No, first floor. And the score was 7-4, and we were not the home team. In the bottom of the 7th, and we played 7 innings. And what do you think happened?
The doctor, with the bases jammed, lofted a fly harmlessly into the mid of the first baseman.
No, I tell you the truth. There was 2 outs, the bases were loaded, and there was a line drive to left field, and I was playing third base, so I wasn't responsible. I wonder what you know what the final score was? 6 to 7.
You won. 6-7.
No, it was 10-7. The other team's
I thought you have to take me off.
It was a bad day. It was a very bad day. I was using an aluminum bat, and for some reason they don't work well when the weather's cold. Plus, I knew it was cold out there because my legs turned ashy. Super, super cold. Well, in football, the New York Jets have released rookie guard center. I was going to say he played a lot of positions. Rookie guard center. Rookie is his first year. Guard center Mike Owens, a free agent from Missouri. Carl Capria, a second-year safety from Purdue. And Ray King, a free agent rookie linebacker from Iowa State. And I know that just excited the New York Jets fans because I'm sure you've heard of Mike Owens, Carl Capria, and Ray King because we haven't. But anyway, they were released today. The Chicago Bears defense should have a familiar look to the Washington Redskins in the final preseason tune-up game Friday night, which promises to be a biggie. Bear coach Jack Pardee called defensive signals when he played for Washington's coach George Allen as a part of the over-the-hill gang. The game will be the first matchup between Allen and Pardee since Pardee split for the World Football League, and I'm sure that Jack is very happy to be back with the NFL. Chris?
In baseball news, Vice President General Manager Phil Segui of the Cleveland Indians has turned down an offer of $200,000 from the Yankees. That was for designated hitter Rico Cardi. And Johnny Wilson, a former National Hockey League Ironman, veteran of 11 playing seasons in that league, a coach last season with the Cleveland Crusaders of the World Hockey Association. He's the new head coach of, and I'll get the name on this club, Darryl, the Colorado Rockies. He succeeds Bep Guidolin, the coach when the team played as the Kansas City Scouts. So the Kansas City Scouts are now the Colorado Rockies.
That's an appropriate name. But our question again tonight is, in 1972, Norm Snead of the New York Giants led the league in passing. Which team was he traded from that year, and for whom? And we'll talk about the Patriots and Browns game right after this.
Great dining can be found at reasonable prices at the Loft Restaurant, where every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evening, the Loft features its Dinner for Two special. Start your meal with a crock of French onion soup, hot breads, and a fresh salad. For entrees, choose from such items as steak teriyaki, broiled scrod, and veal cordon bleu. All this served with potato and vegetable, and a delicious dessert ending with chocolate mousse. The entire Dinner for Two is served for only $9.95. Enjoy the garden atmosphere and the great food of the Loft. 2 complete dinners for $9.95 every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night at the Loft Restaurant, 144 Moody Street, Waltham.
Sam's Outlet, located at 487 Moody Street, Waltham, and 107 East Berkeley Street, Boston, is a unique shopping experience. Sam's is a very different Army and Navy store. Sam's Outlet carries the finest and pre-washed garments, such as landlubber halter jumpsuits, short-sleeve jumpsuits, and a tremendous variety of stylish jeans. Also, Sam's has the landlubber dress coat, both long and short-sleeved. Sam's Outlet carries a huge inventory of Wrangler products, such as jackets, flares, straights, lightweights, heavyweights, in both pre-washed and regular denim. Just arrived for immediate selling are Wrangler flared corduroys in many colors at only $10.99. For the sportsman, Sam's has camping equipment, such as Eastern backpacks, sleeping bags, Converse sneakers, and the internationally famous Spec track, tennis, and basketball sneakers. Sam's Outlet has clothes for the hard hat, too, specializing in brand names like Carhartt and Carter's. The feature of the week is a 100% polyester double knit tennis jacket for only $5 if you mention Jim or Daryl's name. It's a $15 value for only $5, but you must say the secret words, Jim or Daryl. When on Moody Street, visit Sam's Outlet and meet Ron the Rascal, Dynamite Dawn, and Jovial George. Remember, Sam's Outlet, an Army and Navy boutique.
Arthur Blair Associates is one of Boston's most prestigious secretarial placement agencies, specializing in banking, investment, publishing, legal, and media services. And we have a problem. We have too many positions and not enough qualified applicants. Salaries range from $150 to $245 a week, covering metropolitan Boston and a 25-mile radius. Please call 723-8130 or drop in at 19 Congress Street, Boston. That's Arthur Blair Associates, 19 Congress Street, Boston. The number to call again is 723-8130. Ask for Tom Fenney.
You're back with your Sports IQ. The number to call is 891-1330. Before I go to a phone call, I want to mention the fact that the football coach from BU will be on tomorrow night live. And on the 10th, the day before Boston College meets Texas, Joe Yukiko will be on a phone call. He will not be in the studio live, but he will be here on a phone call. Yes, you're on the air.
Yes, Jim, I'd like to answer that question.
You want to answer that question?
Right.
Just hold on 1 second. Okay, go ahead.
Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota Vikings what?
They got sneezed from the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, go ahead.
And there was a first and second round draft race.
You sound like a very astute football fan.
And I believe they also received the wide receiver, the Giants.
That sounds close to being right, sir, but that's incorrect.
It is?
Yes. Now, could I ask you a football question?
Go ahead.
You won't win anything for it, but did you watch the game last night?
The first half until I fell asleep.
All right, well, I don't want to ask what put you to sleep because it was late and you sound like you should be in bed at that time, but
No,
what did you...
They put me to sleep.
What did you think of the first half?
Sloppy, the same way, lack of coaching. And
Oh,
plus
you do agree with me with the lack of coaching?
Oh, most definitely.
On Cleveland's part?
Cleveland.
Yes. Which team are you talking about?
I'm talking about our beloved Patriots.
Oh, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just felt there was. Plus, they have no depth. Look, you have Taha hurt now and Burks hurt. Now, who did they play for wide receiver?
Well, Ricky Features looked pretty good last night, but they do still need. Well, they got Armstead is still there, so it might have saved Armstead's job.
Jim, maybe you can answer this. Why haven't they ever tried a perfected a screen pass?
The Patriots have been in existence now for 16 years, right?
And I think I've seen one screen pass, and that was ineffective.
I was going to mention to you the fact that when Cleve Rush came with the Patriots, he tried to put some screen passes in. The Patriots are the only team that have an inept, screen pass. They just, for some reason cannot get it together. Of course, they have other problems also. Right now, they're still trying to learn how to run the ball straight, okay? But aside from that, they've got a number of things to do or attempt to do, and screen passes definitely has to be an asset that they to the offense, which they do have to learn how to use. It's not that hard. I don't understand why they have such a problem with it.
And why don't they with their inept at their defensive line? Why don't they shoot and choke a little more?
Say that again, please.
They're so inept at the defensive line as far as getting to the passer. Now, once again, last night the same thing happened. Continuously.
Right. The Patriots
guy runs around.
The Patriots are one of the poorest.
Tackled, and he has time to
throw
the ball.
The Patriots.
Why don't they? You played for Hollaback, right?
Right. That's right.
Now he instituted that blitz, the safety blitz or what have you, or the linebacker blitz. Why can't they? Chota's a good, strong, young, fast linebacker like Kiner. Why can't he come in on a blitz more often to help out the defensive line?
Okay. The thing of it is, you want your defensive line when you're playing a 4-3 defense. It's primarily a rush defense, okay? Darryl can tell you more about the defense than I can. But when you're playing a 4-3 defense, you're primarily it's a defense set up to go after the quarterback, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You've got to have a defensive charge, mainly by your two defensive ends. The two tackles have to put the pressure on. The ends have to get to the quarterback, or somebody has to get to the quarterback. You shouldn't have to blitz to get to him. At times, you're going to use it as a change-up to get to him, okay? But when you have guys like Julius Adams at ends, as a matter of fact, they changed his position at one point from a defensive end to a tackle, and you cannot do that because he is not a defensive tackle. He's quick. He's got a lot of he's fast. He's got a lot of aggressiveness, and this is the type of person you want at the defensive end spot. But it's again a thing of coaching, of knowing when to blitz. Of course, you're also taking a chance when you're blitzing people because that puts your defensive cornerbacks one-on-one with the wide receivers.
That, but they didn't get to the pass. They didn't get to Phipps at all last night.
I know that.
Once again, he ran around at will. What you think of the game last night? You and Darryl.
I just talked, so I'll let Darryl talk a little bit, and then I'll come back.
I thought, the Patriots did not show the improvement that I felt that was necessary to show in the fifth exhibition game of the year, especially in the first half. I'm really not sure what to think of the second half because I don't know how seriously Cleveland took the game in the second half. I know they were still fighting and playing a lot of dirty football and hitting late and a lot of holding and things like that. But I think some of the fire was out of Cleveland when they came back the second half. Even though they sustained a very good drive in the fourth quarter, they just rammed the ball right down the Patriots' throats. I felt in the second half, although, that the Patriots did show that they can come back. If Cleveland was paying up to par, I'm saying.
Yeah, they can come back as long as they're behind. But what happens if they're playing a regular season game?
Well, I would think that they could not play a regular season game the way that they played the first half of last night's game, or they'd be blown away in the first half, and there would be no attempt to be, nothing would be made.
Caller, I'd like to make this comment since we got into a rather heated discussion about the Cleveland Patriots situation last night. Cleveland owner Art Modell came on at the halftime. I don't know if you saw the interview, and he stated that their primary objective this year was to establish a running game and, concentrate on a running game and pair it off with a stout defense. And I thought the Cleveland defense played very well. I believe that the last two touchdowns scored by the Patriots were rather meaningless in that it was 30-14 at the time. However, their running game was strong, and despite the fact that Phipps' statistics weren't rather impressive, when he had to throw the football, he came up with a couple of big tosses to Oscar Rohn, and as well as a couple out of the backfield to Cleo Miller.
One time, the Patriots were like something like 2 for 8 for third down conversions. That's pretty poor.
I know 23 or 38 definitely is not in the professional category that you're going to need to win football games.
And one last question.
Okay.
One last question, one last comment. First of all, what do you see so exciting about Ike Forte?
Ike Forte's got a lot of quickness. He's got a lot of speed. When I look at a professional runner, okay, I look for his quickness, okay, because there are a lot of guys that are fast but are not quick. Okay, he's got a lot of quickness, and that's what you need to play professional football. And Ike Forte will make it in the pros.
And one comment: I think that Steve Corbett's probably the biggest low-round or high-round draft choice since maybe Dick Arrington or something. Stats like that.
Don't say that. Dick Arrington's a friend of mine.
Thanks for your comment.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. 891-1330 is the number to call. You're next on your Sports IQ.
Yes, I'd like to take a guess at the quiz.
That's exactly what it would be, sir.
It was Norm Snead and Bob Grimm, I think, came from the Vikings for Fran Tarkington. And maybe assorted draft choices.
Darryl was pondering that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide whether I can accept your answer or not.
Well,
you see, part of it is right. I don't need any more comment. We'll only give you one guess. Part of it is right, and part of it's wrong. So I guess I'm going to have to call your answer incorrect on a technicality. Are you angry?
Yeah.
Illegal.
Well, you would tell me what should I do. Part of your answer is...
It's illegal formation, caller. You lose.
Part of your answer is incorrect, but more of it is right.
Well, I thought Fran Tarkington was the key man in the trade. But maybe there was someone else who went from the Giants to the Vikings that I don't know of.
I think that you're referring to Cyril Pinder.
Cyril Pinder?
No, see, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to have to consider your answer incorrect, even though you were 99.9% right.
Well, if he's that close, T, what do you think?
I think he's wrong.
I don't know. Are we philanthropic? Dallas says you're wrong.
Okay. You would just have to listen to another
But if
question.
you can dispute the real answer...
Well, I won't be able to. I won't know it.
But I'm saying you... All right, thanks for your call.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. And now the time is 6:22. We're going to some more questions and some more comments about sports in general. The number to call is 891-1330.
And now a message from Nautilus in Newton. Wouldn't you like to increase your athletic ability and at the same time enhance your physical appearance? Do it quickly and efficiently with Nautilus equipment. Nautilus training takes just 30 to 40 minutes a workout and increases strength, flexibility, and cardiovascular endurance. Nautilus uses full-range rotary motion with variable resistance to build your natural strength curves, and these gains are easily applied to any athletic activity. Nautilus has an intense summer program for serious athletes now underway. Come down and give Nautilus a try. You receive a free trial workout that will make you a believer in the Nautilus way to better physical fitness. That's Nautilus in Newton, 160 Charlemont Street, near Route 9 and just off Route 128, at exit 56E, Needham Street. The phone number is 965-0380. Call for more information.
We'd like you to know that every night Magoo's Saloon, 1391 Washington Street, Route 16, West Newton Square, shows first-rate, full-length motion pictures, and there's no admission charge. Why pay from $2 to $4 to sit in one seat quietly all night when you can go to Magoo's Saloon and watch a great flick while you have a drink or something to eat, talk with your friends, or even have a cigarette if you like, plus free hot popcorn when you purchase a pitcher of beer during the movie. So stop in and pick up a movie schedule or call Magoo's Saloon at 527-9553. That's Magoo's Saloon, 1391 Washington Street, Route 16 in West Newton Square. You can also catch all the televised sports events on Magoo's giant screen television. Welsh Travel Consultants, specialists in corporate and business travel, invites all travel coordinators and traffic managers to explore the advantages of having Welsh Travel provide your travel needs. Whether you're a one-man company or a large international company, you may need the services of Welsh Travel. Let us evaluate your present method of obtaining airline tickets, auto rentals, or hotel reservations. At no extra charge, Welsh Travel will provide all those services in a more efficient manner. Call Welsh Travel at 237-5707 for an appointment. That's 237-5707.
A lot of people out for lunch. 891-1330 is the number to call, and we were talking about lunch only because, ladies and gentlemen, our number is 891-1330. We cannot tell you other sports talk shows telephone numbers on our show, but we'd appreciate it very much if you would not tie up our line thinking that you're on another sports show.
Or a music show, for that matter.
I would like to read out another question, because that first question is kind of tricky. Our second football question there. In 1972, two running backs from the same city scored the most touchdowns in their respective conferences. That's the National Football Conference and the American Football Conference. These two running backs were from the same city, but they had to be on different teams. Hello, you're on the radio.
Hi. How
Hi.
are you?
Fine.
Well, that fiasco from last night is over with.
Yes.
We're ready for the next one next week.
Next fiasco or the next game?
The next Patriot fiasco. Every game will be a fiasco with them.
Well,
Are you kidding?
We'll put you on record for that then.
That's Philadelphia Sunday night at Schaefer.
What?
The Philadelphia Eagles Sunday night. You're referring to. That's the next game.
That's when they're playing?
That's right. Sunday night, Schaefer Stadium, Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, Lord. Hey, did you say that Norm Snead was available?
Yes, he
He
is.
is now on waivers.
Is that right? Well,
Monty Domers is now with the 49ers.
the Patriots don't have enough sense to pick up a player like that.
Too old.
So he might as well forget it.
He's too old.
Too old? How old is he?
Around 37, 38.
16 years in the National Football League.
Well, he may be too old, but maybe he can handle a ball. They don't want anybody that can handle a ball.
That's obvious, sir.
Yeah. Now, getting to Friday night.
Yes, sir.
Who are the Redskins playing?
Chicago Bears.
Oh, Lord. That's the number one dirtiest team in the country. And
Who's that, Chicago?
Yeah. And the number two is the good old Browns. So 1-2.
I don't know. I think the Patriots played pretty dirty football last night, which might have reflected in their execution. I watched the game very carefully. I saw a lot of late hits. I saw hits. I saw a lot of spearing. I saw a lot of hits out of bounds. I saw a lot of potential face masks.
And if Sam Hunt wants an off-season employment caller, we can get him a job in professional wrestling as one of the many villains along the circuit.
Yeah, but the Patriots are new to this kind of thing. The Bears have been dirty for 30 years.
You know why?
And so are the Browns. Why?
You know why?
Why?
Because Hallis, the owner of the Chicago Bears, is the top man in the National Football League. Those guys can get away with that in Chicago. They can't in any other city or like if you play Chicago in Chicago, man, you got to get yourself ready for a dogfight because that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, the Browns have always been that way, too. They were always my number one hate team, because they were always so dirty.
Right, well, what was your opinion of the game?
What game?
The fiasco, then, excuse me.
Oh,
I forgot how you
mean the red and blue tag match last night? I think the first quarter was the beginning of the game, and then it never ended because it didn't go anywhere after that.
Actually, I think the fireworks at halftime perhaps was the best entertainment of the whole evening, with the exception of Mike Haynes doing his behind-the-back slam dunk on the 5-yard line with a punt return.
Caller,
yes.
You know what I thought was the most exciting part of last night's game?
Was somebody on TV?
No, it was Willie Davis's interview with Art Modell and the questions that he asked, because I almost fell out of my chair. He asked the owner of the team what he felt of his quarterback.
Of this quarterback?
Of Mike Phipps. Like the owner's supposed to say, we don't like him. He asked the owner of his team how he thought his team was progressing. Like he's going to get on national TV or back to Boston and say, we're not doing so well. The things that he asked, the interview was just ridiculous to me. And that was the most exciting part of last night's game.
Well, it's ridiculous to talk to owners anyways, because what do they know? They're just in it for the business.
No, I doubt that seriously. I think guys like Art Modell and George Hallis and quite a few of the old guys were in it for the love of the sport, along with making a buck. And the players, like Art Modell said in the past, have been in the game for the love of the game and have not been so money hungry, but that's another point.
Yeah, well, the older guys, that's true, but I don't think that's the way it is today. It's run as a business, and the business is getting the team winning, and we don't have that business going here in Boston, and it's unlikely that it will be for a number of years.
I agree with you completely, and I hope for those Patriot fans that are out there that keep cheering that sooner or later the Patriots do come around.
And we thank you for your comments.
Right.
Thank you.
Good night. 891-1330, you're next on the radio.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, speak up, please.
Yeah, listen, I just like to stand up for the Patriots a little bit on last night's game.
Well, just a minute. I'm going to stand up with you.
All right.
You ready? I'm standing. Are you really standing up?
Okay, well, listen, I just want to rebut Christine's statement. That,
Well, wait a minute.
Mike
Let me
Phipps,
back off on the ropes, okay?
All right, just that Mike Phipps seems to be such a clutch quarterback. He showed me absolutely nothing last night.
Agreed.
And I don't think that the Browns will go any place with him as quarterback. He just doesn't seem to be the professional type to lead that team even to the playoffs. I really can't see anything for him, and I don't think the Browns are going to do anything as long as they have him as a quarterback.
Well,
what do you think of that?
I think that the Cleveland Browns have a super team, especially on defense. Offensively, there's no question about the fact that they can run the ball, they can run yardage. Okay, they've got 2 wide receivers in Rucker and Paul Warfield that can do the job. Okay, they've got 3 tight ends right now. Offensively, they do need a quarterback. I felt Chris kind of feels that Phipps can do the job. I feel, on the other hand, that they do need a stronger quarterback in Mike Phipps. They're hoping now. It's now 6 years in the league for him. They've been kind of hoping that he'd come around and lead that team to a championship. I think, with the exception of the quarterback, as a matter of fact, you might see Norm Snead in Cleveland. But anyway, with the exception of a quarterback, they do have a hell of a football team.
Well,
at this point, Phipps leaves a little bit to be desired.
I agree with you completely. I was much more impressed with Grogan's performance in the last final minute of that game.
When you're behind by 2 or more touchdowns, 2 touchdowns plus points, okay, you can go all out. You have nothing to lose, okay. I don't feel that the Cleveland Browns were, is concentrating as much the last 2 minutes or the last 10 minutes of the game as much as they were in the first quarter, the first half, we'll say. So whatever Steve Grogan did in the final 2 minutes, I don't think has any real bearing on how the game or how he played or how the game should have gone.
Well, I've always been of the feeling that the mood of the game is set right at the beginning as far as the defense go and the offense go. And it seemed to me last night that the Browns' defense was just superior to the offense that was put out by the Patriots. There was no running on them, and there was no running game that could compare with what they did against New Orleans the previous week. And I feel this carried through, and I seem to think that this happens within every game. There's a certain...
the tone of the game is set definitely in the first 5 minutes, we'll say.
Yeah. But I also want to rebut one thing. I don't think they were blown out of that game last night like you guys were saying. The other night, you seem to be of the
I felt that the Patriots were
4 touchdowns behind at the end of the first half, and then they're going to lose by even greater scores.
I said that.
Well, I
said they were going to get beat by 20 points, caller, and unfortunately the Patriots came up with those 2 last-ditch touchdowns, or they would have been beaten by 16.
Well, I'll tell you, Bolton looked really great last night when he fell on his rear end there.
That's because he was too excited about playing.
Well, what about, did Rucker play last night?
No, Rucker
he was in the tight end at wide receiver.
No, Rucker didn't play at all last night. He was injured.
Greg Pruitt also didn't play.
Well, he played a little bit, but by the time that he came in, the Patriots were just reeling on
I think you
might
might be thinking of Mike Pruitt, caller.
No, Mike.
You might be thinking of Mike Pruitt from Purdue.
Yeah.
Mike Pruitt played, not Greg Pruitt.
2 Pruitts on that team?
Right.
Right.
No relation. However, both excellent runners.
And let me say something, caller. You know, you talked about Ron Bolton being on his backside on that touchdown. They made a trade for Bob McKay, who's an offensive lineman, an experienced offensive lineman from Cleveland. And if you'd have watched the game, you know, comparing the 2 people, I think that you'd have given Bolton a nod, even though he was beat. Because I'd never seen an offensive tackle that was experienced as Bob McKay play as poorly.
Well, I must confess I really wasn't watching Bob McKay. I was just trying to see how effective the Patriots were going to be against the Browns' defense. And,
well, Bob McKay is one of the offensive linemen that you said the defensive lineman of the Cleveland Browns made look so poorly.
Well, you've got a point there, Bill.
So, you know, I think if, for all intents and purposes right now, the trade is equal. Neither guy is playing well for either team.
Why isn't Bolton playing for the Browns?
Well, Tony Peters is an excellent cornerback, and I think that they're priming Ron Bolton to be a swing man. That's left and right corner in both safety spots. And he's a very valuable asset to the team because he has experience, and he can add depth to the team in case of injury, which the Patriots cannot do. And we'll put you on record as saying that we were incorrect in our analogy of the Patriots. They were not blown out of the game, and we appreciate your call.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your call.
891-1330. You're next on the radio.
How you doing, Dal?
I'm fine, sir.
You're doing a good job, my man.
Thank you.
Let me comment about the losers in town. The team that's been losers for 12 years and will be losers for another 12 years.
The Reds? No, not the Red Sox. Who?
The Patriots.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Excuse me, they've been losers for 16 years.
Yeah, 16 and another 16 to come. You know, that team is the worst football team, and I mean it. I'm talking about the expansion teams. The expansion teams that come in this year will probably have as good a record and be as good a team as the Patriots are. You know, this team...
I'll agree with you when you say Tampa Bay, but I won't agree on Seattle.
Okay.
And I don't agree with you, period.
All right, but anyway, let's talk about the losers on the team. The fact of the matter is, guys, are you telling me for a professional organization, and I mean from Fairbanks down to every one of his damn coaches and most of his ball players, that you've got a Patrick who does the punting? They haven't had a decent punter in this town for the 12 years that I've been watching the team. They got John Smith as a field goal kicker who is less than mediocre at best. I mean, this is a pro organization, supposedly, who goes out and scouts ball players. Freddie Steinfeld at BC goes to a team like Oakland, who probably has one of the worst draft selections in football. I mean, what kind of garbage is this organization feeding the people in this town? I mean, it's absolutely appallable. I mean, you can go on some high school fields in this town, college fields, and see better punters and place kickers than you see at Foxborough or at BU or at Schaefer Stadium or wherever the hell they've played for the last 12 years. This organization, from Fairbanks on down, they had the excuse. They've had all different general managers. They've had all different coaches, all different head coaches. Fairbanks has run the show for the last 3 or 4 years. He's got all his people there now, all his assistant coaches. And you mean to tell me that the best they can do at those positions, and this is a part of the game. They're kicking plans, their punting plans, their field goal tries. They get to the 30-yard line. Most professional teams come inside the 40. They're a legitimate threat to get 3 points. The Patriots go down to the 30-yard line and they punt and get a plus 13 yards on it.
Well,
I mean, what kind of football is this? I mean, you see better football in Pop Warner football.
Well, you probably don't. You might see better football sometimes in Pop Warner, but I don't think the fellas are as large in Pop Warner as they are in the professional.
I know.
However, Pop Warner was a genius in his own right.
No, but the thing I find saying is, I mean, what is sports coming to? I mean, this is a pro organization. These people, the coaches, players, managers, I mean, these guys are making good money. They're supposedly professional. They're supposedly the best of the lot out of college ball players, and I have a lot of respect for athletes because I've known quite a few of them who come out of college and high school. They're good ball players, and yet, I mean, is that the best the Patriots can do? I mean, They have the game, the tone of the game is set completely by the other team. Every game they play, nothing changes year in and year out. Fairbanks, no Fairbanks, Cleve Rush. I mean, obviously, it's just the whole organization there that really is putrid. And there's no defense to them. I mean, they do everything bad. They look good for 2 minutes. They look bad for 7 minutes. They look good for 1 minute. They look bad for 10 minutes. I mean, this is not the way the game was supposed to be played. I mean, even the Washington Redskins, with all the old veteran ball players they have one of the greatest kicking teams in football. I mean, they never hurt themselves on the punt or on the fielding of punts. I mean, the Patriots kill themselves every time they have to punt, kick off, anything that has to do with the kicking specialist, they get bombed. They make teams like Cleveland, Atlanta. They weren't impressive against Atlanta. Atlanta the week before lost to an expansion team. That shows you how good Atlanta's going to be this year.
Well, I agree with you, Carl. I can understand your frustrations, and you sound like a diehard Patriots fan.
Well, I won't buy a ticket there. I'm a fan, but I won't buy a ticket because the only way I would buy a ticket is if a team comes in like Pittsburgh, Dallas, or Los Angeles, and I go not to see the local entry, but to see the good, talented football players. You won't see the Pittsburgh Steelers be embarrassed like that. You won't see the Redskins. I can name 20 football teams that won't be embarrassed like the Patriots will. I'll pay $12 to see Terry Bradshaw and Frenchie Fuqua and a team like that who don't hurt themselves, who you don't have to laugh at. You go to they're so bad that they're laughable. That's my point. They're laughable, and it's sad to laugh at them because they're supposed.
Oh.
And let me just get a couple more things here. Chuck Fairbanks is no bargain either. He thinks he's a dictator. He thinks he's a god. He doesn't like to talk to the media. I mean, who the hell? I mean, when he was out over in Oklahoma, he must have had all, the small little town newspaper all on his side. Nobody ever contradicted him. Nobody ever asked him questions. This guy seems to be the most one-sided guy. And I mean, what does he think? He's a dictator? I mean, who the hell is he? What has he done for this football program? He's done absolutely nothing for it. People year in, year out expecting good, some improvement. Then you get the party line, well, if there's game-to-game improvement. We don't want this game-to-game improvement. We want wins. What is it going to be? Take us the time? It's going to take us the time the Pittsburgh Steelers 50 years to win a championship here? We don't want... am I going to go to Schaefer Stadium and watch the team and say, well, they had a 3-11 year, but they improved game to game? That means nothing.
Well, what you should do is this, all right?
Yeah.
Calm down just a little bit.
Huh?
Buy a ticket to see the Baltimore Colts on September the 12th, and I guarantee you'll see a good Colt team and a good football game. We appreciate your comment.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. 891-1330. There was a fella that was absolutely frustrated with the New England Patriots, and as far as Mike Patrick is concerned, punt. We'll be right back.
Are you still looking for that retail store that treats you as a person and not a number? Well, look no longer. Auburndale Sports Shop has always taken pride in personally serving their customers. Their aim is to see that you are not only satisfied with their product, but happy with their service. For the summer, Auburndale Sports has a large selection of tennis rackets and equipment. They also offer racket restringing and regripping. They carry most major lines of baseball and softball equipment and can replace and repair that old equipment you thought was useless, including bat regripping. For the fall season, Auburndale Sports can outfit you or your team for hockey, basketball, or football. They also sharpen skates while you wait, and they will take your old skates and trade towards the purchase of new ones. So for any sport, any time of the year, come to Auburndale Sports Shop, 419 Lexington Street, Auburndale, for the equipment you need and the service you've always wanted. Call 965-3356. We're not far from the Marriott.
Don't blow your cool. When the mercury starts to climb, your automobile's engine runs hotter too. Let Newton Auto Supply at 438 Lexington Street in Auburndale help you maintain an even temperature all summer long. Newton Auto offers antifreeze, Delco and Bridgeport thermostats, sealed power water pumps, and Daco fan belts and radiator hoses. They also stock a host of cooling system chemicals and accessories. If staying cool is not your problem, then stop in at Newton Auto for any of your automotive needs. They have excellent coverage in foreign and domestic car exhaust, featuring Walker muffler and pipes. Or if you don't have hard parts in mind, let them outfit you with any number of automobile polishes and waxes. Newton Auto carries a full line of DuPont and classic car care products, always the best at the right price. They also wish to remind you that machine shop service is available. So if you're in the area, drop into Newton Auto for a helpful tip or worthwhile automotive advice. Keep them in mind next time your Chariot is in need of parts. That's Newton Auto Supply, 438 Lexington Street in Auburndale, or phone 969-1191.
Okay, you're now back with your Sports IQ. The number to call is 891-1330. And the weather is conducive to football.
Really?
It is now
it's
that
cold
time of
as
the
hell out there, that's for sure.
It was cold last night.
Let me read this question again. In 1972, two running backs from the same city scored the most touchdowns in their respective conferences. Name those two fellas, please.
The time is 6:43, and we're on the air. Yes, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, yes, I think I have the answer.
Okay, go ahead.
To what?
That question.
Which question?
There were two questions. Which question?
The second question.
Go ahead.
Ron Johnson and Emerson Boozer.
Yes, that's correct. I won't even play around with you. It was Ron Johnson and Emerson Boozer. You a football fan?
Yeah, I am.
You a Patriot fan?
Yeah, I am.
Well, can you tell us something good about the Patriots? We just had a caller before you kind of, buried the Patriots a little bit. If you're a football fan, and we'd like to hear from more Patriot football fans, just say one good thing about the Patriots.
Patriots, let's see. Well, they,
Is it that hard?
They sound nice. Have a nice name.
Okay, well, you said your one good thing. You were right with your answer. Stay on the line and give your name and address to our executive producer. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks a lot.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you.
It's kind of tough, Jimbo, to always hear the negative side of a situation. We have all of these Patriot haters right now. They think it's the worst show in town. They say the people are funny, the organization is bad, and this type of thing and the other. I wonder what folks will say if the Patriots win their division this year. Are they going to say, well, I had a feeling that they could do it, Grogan all of a sudden is good? I would like to hear from more Patriot pro fans. I'm not tired of the con. I like to hear both sides, but I'd like to hear from more Patriot fans.
One of the things that I'd like to mention is the fact that I myself, and I don't think you and Daryl, you, Chris, or Daryl, is negative on the Patriots. If we sound negative, it's only because we don't feel that they are performing to the degree of a professional football team or the team they should be at this point. Again, as I said last week, I'd like to see the Patriots come around and really get it all together. Okay, and I'm hoping that does happen. But we are not on top of we are not down on the Patriots. We, more than anybody else, being ex-football players, hope they do come around. But yes, you're on the air.
Yes, I just like to say, all I hear is that Boston is the greatest sports town with the best fans and everything, the most concerned people. And all I've heard tonight is how bad the Patriots are and it's a waste of money and time. Now, I'd just like to say, don't you think that it's a little bit impossible for the fans to be that great and supporting if that's all they can say?
Yes, I agree. If you now say something good.
Right. Well, I just don't understand. As many times I've heard people call up, I think last night or Friday, they were saying, Boston's the best town.
Okay, let me answer that. Boston is a great town for athletics, pro and amateur. You have a great number of colleges in the area. The fans in Boston, and I think I spoke about this one time before also, the fans in Boston are very frustrated because if you're a football fan, you want to see your home team win, which is the New England Patriots. They've been frustrated for maybe 14 out of the 16 years that they've been in existence, okay? Now, what they don't realize, the fans don't realize, that the ball players themselves are just as frustrated, if not more, okay? Now, the fans are calling up. I'm sure they're discussing about whatever team they're calling about. It might be they can't be down on the Celtics, okay? But they talk about the Red Sox and the Patriots.
Yeah.
They want these teams to come around, just like we do. Okay, and they're taking out their frustration on radio programs like this to project the fact that they aren't the professional teams that they can be and possibly should be.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe they are just really deeply interested and want the good of the team, and it's just frustration. But don't you think maybe a little bit of verbal support and help might do a little better for other fans who are not yet sure what to believe about these teams?
I tell you, that's a good comment. You can start that ball rolling by going out and supporting the Patriots or the Red Sox instead of booing, cheer them.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your phone call.
Good comment.
That's a very good comment. And
I think
matter of fact, we'd like to hear from more pro sports fans and negative ones.
No, I think one thing to be pointed out is that fans in the Boston area or in this area are kind of more sophisticated than fans in areas that are new to, say, professional sports, and because of this, they're extra critical of teams when mistakes are made.
Just think if you lived in Bloomington, Minnesota. You only have one team to watch.
You know, I had a roommate in college, Jimbo, that played pro hockey in Quebec, and he said hockey ceased to be fun because the fans were on you at every move. The fans were critical, and you know, they'd stop you on the street and talk to you about the game, and he felt it was very difficult to play up to his capacity in that type of a situation.
Well, maybe he needs some more cheers. Yes, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Jim?
Right.
Another Jim here talking.
Okay, hi, Jim. How you doing?
Good.
Okay.
I want you to know over the years I enjoyed watching you when you were with the Pats.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm retired, but I wish I could play another 20 years.
Well, I think you do better than half the ones that are around today.
I don't know.
That's my opinion, anyhow.
Go ahead.
I heard one of you dudes mention, because everybody thinking one positive thing about the Patriots.
Okay.
How about the logo?
Are you a jokester?
How does that grab you?
Very inspiring.
You a jokester?
Not really.
What do you want to talk about with the Patriots?
Well, I've been an AFL Football League fan since day one.
Very good.
And I put up with an awful lot of jazz from Giants fans for a good many years, and now I'm starting to get it more and more. And I don't like it.
Well, I think you're gonna hear it for the
for quite a while.
Short future to
for
come.
Quite a while.
The short near future, if I can say it that way.
I
the
think
Patriots.
So. I think for a long future, because I'm an old football man myself, and I don't think I've ever seen a more poorly coached, organized team in years.
What'd you think of the game last night?
I thought they stunk.
What'd you think of Cleveland?
Well, missing some of their better players, I don't think they're that great, but I think that they're far superior to anything the Patriots put on the field.
Well, the Cleveland Browns have a ways to go, and as I said earlier in the show, the fact that...
So it looks like they're out there to do something.
I think they mean business.
It looks like they're coached.
Forrest Gregg, incidentally, played under Vince Lombardi, and
yes, I know.
You know, he brings this winning aura, this atmosphere to the Cleveland Browns, in much the same way as.
I think he also brings discipline and some knowledge of the game.
I think the Patriots are very disciplined. It's just that the coaches don't know what to discipline.
I disagree with Jim Nance on that situation, because I feel if the Patriots were disciplined, they wouldn't be making these over and over again, making these poor executions of their plays.
I don't care. Who is it? Haynes.
Haynes, right?
That's my cousin, incidentally.
Well, good luck. I think he's got a future, but even rookies don't make the kind of mistake he made last night.
Well, I can remember one mistake made by Dave Smith, who used to play for, matter of fact, the college in my hometown in Indiana, Pennsylvania. He went to Pittsburgh Steelers. They were playing Kansas City one night. He did the same thing. The only difference is it cost him 7 points.
Right.
Hayes lucked out last night. And
right. And Stingley will never get an easier touchdown in his life.
I agree with that.
I think that mistake came out of enthusiasm, Carl. I don't really think we should chastise Mike Haynes for being awful excited. He had redeemed himself. He fumbled and caused one touchdown. He set up one touchdown, if you can remember. And I think out of excitement and the fact that he did make up for it, and it happened to be the same type of play, a punt return. He fumbled a punt. He returns a punt, first time in his pro career. He's overly excited. He wants to dunk the ball over his head. You know, a little hot dog. But not bad.
He wants to show the crowd he's there.
I don't think that is a lack of coaching. What I think is a lack of coaching is the fact that on 3rd and 1...
It's the overall execution.
That's what I'm trying to say. Execution was not sharp like it should be in the 5th exhibition game going into the regular season.
3 or 4 plays, they executed well, and they performed.
Right.
And then they just seem to get a couple going, and then they just say, well, hey, we've done it for a while. Let's sit down and take a rest.
Right.
That seems to be my general impression of watching the team.
I have to agree with you.
And I still wonder why, in the name of sweet heaven, we can't find somebody who can kick a football 30 yards out of bounds.
Well, I tell you, we'll put you on record for asking that question. We won't give $2 away, but we don't have the answer, and we appreciate your call.
And one other thing.
All right.
Go ahead.
Why is Smith injured?
The kicker?
Yeah.
I think he does have a problem with his upper thigh on his left leg, and that is his kicking leg, and I believe he is injured. All right?
Okay.
Thank you for your call.
My pleasure.
All right. We'll be back with more calls and comments at 891-1330 on your Sports IQ with Jim Nance, Chris Haynes, and Darrell Johnson. Hang in there.
Sam's Outlet, located at 487 Moody Street, Waltham, and 107 East Berkeley Street, Boston, is a unique shopping experience. Sam's is a very different Army and Navy store. Sam's Outlet carries the finest and pre-washed garments, such as landlubber halter jumpsuits, short-sleeve jumpsuits, and a tremendous variety of stylish jeans. Also, Sam's has the landlubber dress coat, both long and short-sleeved. Sam's Outlet carries a huge inventory of Wrangler products, such as jackets, flares, straights, lightweights, heavyweights, in both pre-washed and regular denim. Just arrived for immediate selling are Wrangler flared corduroys in many colors at only $10.99. For the sportsmen, Sam's has camping equipment, such as Eastern backpacks, sleeping bags, Converse sneakers, and the internationally famous Spec track, tennis, and basketball sneakers. Sam's Outlet has clothes for the hard hat, too, specializing in brand names like Carhartt and Carter's. The feature of the week is a 100% polyester double knit tennis jacket for only $5 if you mention Jim or Darrell's name. It's a $15 value for only $5, but you must say the secret words, Jim or Darrell. When on Moody Street, visit Sam's Outlet and meet Ron the Rascal, Dynamite Dawn, and Jovial George. Remember, Sam's Outlet, an Army and Navy boutique.
Arthur Blair Associates is one of Boston's most prestigious secretarial placement agencies, specializing in banking, investment, publishing, legal, and media services. And we have a problem. We have too many positions and not enough qualified applicants. Salaries range from $150 to $245 a week, covering metropolitan Boston and a 25-mile radius. Please call 723-8130 or drop in at 19 Congress Street, Boston. That's Arthur Blair Associates, 19 Congress Street, Boston. The number to call again is 723-8130. Ask for Tom Fenney.
We'd like you to know that every night Magoo's Saloon, 1391 Washington Street, Route 16, West Newton Square, shows first-rate, full-length motion pictures, and there's no admission charge. Why pay from $2 to $4 to sit in one seat quietly all night when you can go to Magoo's Saloon and watch a great flick while you have a drink or something to eat, talk with your friends, or even have a cigarette if you like, plus free hot popcorn when you purchase a pitcher of beer during the movie. So stop in and pick up a movie schedule or call Magoo's Saloon at 527-9553. That's Magoo's Saloon, 1391 Washington Street, Route 16, in West Newton Square. You can also catch all the televised sports events on Magoo's giant screen television.
And now a message from Nautilus in Newton. Wouldn't you like to increase your athletic ability and at the same time enhance your physical appearance? Do it quickly and efficiently with Nautilus equipment. Nautilus training takes just 30 to 40 minutes a workout and increases strength, flexibility, and cardiovascular endurance. Nautilus uses full-range rotary motion with variable resistance to build your natural strength curves, and these gains are easily applied to any athletic activity. Nautilus has an intense summer program for serious athletes now underway. Come down and give Nautilus a try. You receive a free trial workout that will make you a believer in the Nautilus way to better physical fitness. That's Nautilus in Newton, 160 Charlemont Street, near Route 9 and just off Route 128, at exit 56E, Needham Street. The phone number is 965-0380. Call for more information.
Number to call, 891-1330, and you're on the air.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
I'd like to know, do you know anything about Rick Burleson? Is he going to be playing next time the Red Sox play?
Rick Burleson was hit by a Bert Blyleven pitch last night, and I don't know at this point what his status will be. It's a very dangerous and terrifying moment, incidentally. I don't know how you felt. I was watching the football game, and I happened to pick this up on the 11 p.m. news. It was rather scary, to put it mildly.
Was he hit on the helmet?
He was hit at the protective helmet. However, the problem is it's just in the front of the head, and it might have been, beyond the protective area of the helmet. The helmet might have taken some of the impact out of the pitch, but you've got to remember that fellows like Bert Blyleven, and actually any pitcher in the major leagues, their fastball is traveling at a great rate of speed.
Mm-hmm. Another thing is, what do you think the chances are of George Foster winning the Triple Crown in the National League?
The chances for George Foster, I would have to say that he may have a problem. And he was swinging a very hot bat and hitting quite a few home runs. Now, Jay Johnstone of the Philadelphia Phillies is currently the batting leader, if I'm not mistaken. And I think Mike Schmidt has been stroking the home run ball rather well. So I think that Foster is going to have to really have a big month of September and carry it on through the final weeks of the season in early October.
One last thing. What was the question for the little contest?
The question for tonight?
Yeah.
Just hold on one second.
The quarterback question, Norman Snead question?
Yeah.
In 1972, Norm Snead of the New York Giants led the league in passing. Which team was he traded from and for whom?
Has anyone answered it?
Not yet.
Can you?
Not really.
All right. Well, thanks for your call, all right?
Yeah, see you later.
Bye-bye. You're next on the radio.
Yeah, I'd like to answer the question about Norm Snead.
Go right ahead, sir.
Yeah, he was the New York Giants traded Fran Tarkenton for Norm Snead and Vince Clements and Bob Grimm.
Partially right, but not correct.
That's not right?
Partially, not completely.
Oh, okay.
We got to take another phone call. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, you're on the air.
Hi, I'd like to ask one question.
Go
yes,
ahead.
sir. You're going to have to make it quick because we're running out of time.
Is there a disaster clause in the NFL if a plane crashes, a lot of players get killed?
Sir, that's a very morbid question, and I will not even answer that. I'm sure that they have insurance around the league, and I don't even want to know what team you have in mind.
I'm just wondering if the other teams stock the club.
Yes, that would happen.
I think that's a very cold-blooded way to restock a club, and we would not like to discuss that on this show. Thank you, all right?
All righty.
We're running out of time anyway. That answer to that question about Norm Snead, the people were 99.9% right that called up and said Norm Snead and Fran Tarkenton, but when they added other names, it made the answer incorrect. It was a heads-up deal. Norm Snead for Fran Tarkenton. Grimm and the rest of those guys was in another transaction, and if you look it up or call the Globe or whatever, you'll find that out. We appreciate you very much for listening to us tonight. Tune in tomorrow 6:05 to 7 on your Sports IQ. For Jim Nance, Chris Haynes, our executive anomaly, this is Darrell Johnson. Have a good night.
7 o'clock in Boston. This is WHET, 1330 AM in Waltham, Massachusetts.